Billions of dollars are poured into military research every year. The modern tactical world is obsessed with lightweight polymer frames, advanced optics, and computer-guided weapon systems. Yet, if you look closely at the front lines, the competitive shooting ranges, and the armories of the 21st century, some of the most reliable and trusted weapons were forged from World War II steel. These designs completely refuse to retire. One weapon on this list is so mechanically perfect that the Pentagon has spent 90 years and countless millions failing to replace it. If you appreciate traditional craftsmanship over empty marketing hype, make sure to join the Steady Zero community today. We are not just talking about cheap military surplus sitting in a collector's safe. We are ranking these 5 legendary firearms based on their active modern use, the durability of their core designs, and their ongoing dominance in either military service or the civilian market. Number 5. Lee-Enfield. Number 4. Starting our list at number 5 is the Lee-Enfield No. 4. This bolt-action rifle earns its place by proving that when the environment becomes absolutely unforgiving, traditional mechanical reliability easily outlasts modern complexity. The Lee-Enfield traces its origins back to the late 19th century, but the No. 4 variation became the backbone of the British Commonwealth forces during the Second World War. While most bolt-action rifles were replaced by semi-automatics decades ago, the Enfield carved out a unique modern legacy in one of the harshest places on Earth, the high Arctic. For over 70 years, right into the 21st century, the Canadian Rangers relied on the Lee-Enfield No. 4 for their Arctic patrols. The reasoning was purely practical. Modern polymer components can become brittle and crack in negative 50-degree temperatures, and complex gas systems freeze solid. But the smooth, heavy steel bolt of the Enfield simply keeps working. Furthermore, the Lee-Enfield has always possessed a massive tactical advantage over its bolt-action rivals: a 10-round detachable magazine and a remarkably short bolt throw. This allowed for the famous Mad Minute, where a trained shooter could unleash 30 aimed rounds in 60 seconds. Even today, the design offers a sustained rate of fire that commands respect. Naturally, this rifle has a severe limitation. It is a manual bolt-action firearm operating in a fully automatic world. The Canadian Rangers have finally begun replacing it with the modern C-19 rifle. Its days as a frontline military tool are effectively over. However, measuring dominance is not always about general infantry use. For over 7 decades, when specialized patrol units needed a rifle that was guaranteed to fire in the most brutal, freezing conditions on the planet, they ignored modern plastic and chose a World War II relic. From surviving the freezing wilderness, we moved to a rifle that completely changed the rules of infantry combat and still commands absolute respect on the firing line today. Number 4. M1 Garand. Coming in at number 4 is the legendary M1 Garand. It lands here because it did not just define the American victory in World War II. Its core design created a legacy that still dominates competitive historical shooting today. When the United States entered the war, they possessed a massive tactical advantage. The M1 Garand was the first standard-issue semi-automatic rifle in the world, providing American infantry with unprecedented firepower compared to enemies fielding manual bolt-action rifles. Today, the Garand remains a dominant force in the civilian market, particularly within the Civilian Marksmanship Program, or CMP. The rifle is so revered that entirely separate competitive shooting categories exist exclusively for it. More importantly, its rugged gas piston operating system laid the direct mechanical groundwork for the M14, the civilian M1A, and heavily influenced modern piston-driven weapon designs. Let us clear up a persistent myth. You have likely heard that the famous ping sound of the empty 8-round clip ejecting would alert enemies that a soldier was out of ammunition. Historical evidence shows this was rarely a real issue, as a chaotic battlefield was deafeningly loud. The real strength of the Garand was its ability to put 8 heavy, accurate rounds downrange, as fast as the user could pull the trigger. The Garand does have undeniable limitations by modern standards. The 8-round en-bloc clip is entirely obsolete compared to high-capacity detachable box magazines. Additionally, it is a very heavy rifle, weighing nearly 10 pounds unloaded. But that weight is exactly what makes it a masterpiece. The heavy wood and steel stock perfectly absorbs the massive recoil of the .30-06 cartridge, making it incredibly stable to shoot. While it is no longer issued to active military units, its design influence and sheer cultural dominance in the American firearms community make it an immortal piece of machinery. While the Garand brought semi-automatic fire to the individual soldier, our next entry introduced a level of automatic devastation that forced the entire world to adapt. Number 3, MG42 and the MG3 platform. At number 3 is a machine that shattered expectations, the German MG42, and its direct modern descendant, the MG3. It earns this spot because it represents a World War II design so terrifyingly effective that the very nations it was used against ended up adopting its operating principles. During the war, the MG42 was designed to provide overwhelming suppressive fire. It utilized a roller-locked recoil mechanism and was manufactured using stamped sheet metal, a revolutionary technique that made it fast and cheap to produce. The true evidence of its dominance is what happened after the war ended. The design was simply too good to abandon. It was slightly modified, rechambered for the standard 7.62 NATO cartridge, and reborn as the MG3. Today, decades later, the MG3 is still mounted on Leopard main battle tanks and serves as a general-purpose machine gun for multiple NATO militaries. It is famous for an unbelievable rate of fire, pushing up to 1,200 rounds per minute. The sound of the weapon firing is a continuous, terrifying roar. Its quick-change barrel system remains a benchmark that modern light machine guns still try to emulate. However, that extreme speed is also its primary limitation. It consumes ammunition at a staggering rate, which creates logistical nightmares for infantry squads trying to carry enough weight. It also severely burns through barrels, requiring highly disciplined trigger control. Some might argue that the MG3 is a different gun than the MG42, but mechanically, the roller-locked core, the stamped receiver concept, and the feeding mechanism are nearly identical. It is a pure World War II design that successfully transitioned into the modern armored era. The MG42 dominated the European battlefield through sheer volume of fire, but our runner-up dominates through pure, unmatched precision in the palm of your hand. Number 2, M1911 pistol. Taking the runner-up spot at number 2 is John Moses Browning's masterpiece, the M1911. It secures this high rank because it sets a mechanical standard for the single-action trigger that no modern polymer pistol has ever been able to beat. Adopted by the United States military in the year 1911, this sidearm proved its worth through 2 world wars, Korea and Vietnam. While the military eventually shifted to lighter, higher-capacity 9mm pistols, the 1911 did not disappear. It simply evolved. Today, the 1911 and its modern double-stack 2011 variants absolutely dominate the civilian competitive shooting world. Go to any major USPSA or IDPA match, and you will see the highest levels of competition ruled by the 1911 architecture. Furthermore, when the Marine Corps Special Operations Command needed a sidearm with undeniable stopping power, they brought the platform back into active service as the M45A1. The secret to its survival is the trigger. The straight-pull single-action trigger provides a crisp, glass-like break that hinged polymer triggers cannot replicate. Combined with the heavy steel frame, the 1911 absorbs the recoil of the massive .45 ACP cartridge, allowing for incredibly fast, accurate follow-up shots. Its limitations are widely known. A traditional single-stack 1911 holds only 7 or 8 rounds, which feels drastically underpowered compared to a standard 17-round Glock. It is also heavy to carry all day and requires more dedicated maintenance than modern striker-fired designs. But for millions of Americans, steel always wins over plastic. When the priority shifts from carrying the lightest possible load to achieving the absolute best mechanical accuracy and shooting experience, the 1911 remains the undisputed king of handguns. Yet, as brilliant as the 1911 is, there is one final World War II design that has achieved a level of dominance that defies all military logic. Number 1. M2 Browning 50 caliber. Securing the number 1 spot on our list is another invention from John Browning, the M250 caliber heavy machine gun, universally known as Ma Deuce. It takes the absolute top rank for one simple, undeniable reason. In over 90 years, the combined engineering power of the Western world has completely failed to replace it. The M2 entered service in 1933, originally designed to meet General John Pershing's demand for a heavy, armor-piercing weapon. It devastated targets throughout World War II on infantry tripods, bomber aircraft, and anti-aircraft mounts. Today, look at any modern conflict. The M2 is still the standard heavy machine gun for the United States and NATO. It is mounted on Abrams main battle tanks, Stryker vehicles, Humvees, and naval destroyers. This is not a ceremonial antique. It is the active, frontline backbone of heavy vehicle firepower. Its performance is terrifying. It fires massive half-inch diameter projectiles accurately out to tremendous distances. During the Vietnam War, Marine sniper Carlos Hathcock famously mounted a scope on an M2 and set a record for the longest confirmed sniper kill, a record that stood untouched for over 30 years. The ultimate proof of its dominance is the failure of modern technology. The Pentagon has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on advanced projects, like the XM312, attempting to create a lighter, high-tech replacement. Every single attempt has been canceled. Modern alloys and complex recoil systems simply cannot handle the sustained, punishing stress of the 50 caliber round, the way the massive steel receiver of the M2 does. Its only real limitation is its extreme weight. At 84 pounds for the gun alone, it is incredibly difficult to move dismounted. But when an infantry squad needs to stop light armored vehicles or penetrate concrete barriers from a mile away, nobody complains about the weight of the steel. It is the definition of dominance. A mechanical design so perfect upon creation that nearly a century of technological advancement still bows down to it. If you are enjoying this breakdown of classic mechanical engineering, hit the subscribe button and join the Steady Zero community. Modern military technology is undeniably brilliant. Polymer frames reduce fatigue, computer optics improve targeting, and advanced manufacturing allows for incredible production speed. But this list proves a fundamental truth about engineering. When the environment is brutal and the stakes are absolute, there is no substitute for heavy steel and proven mechanics. These 5 firearms survived the greatest conflict in human history, only to turn around and dictate the rules of engagement for the next 80 years. They are not just surviving, they are still leading the way. Now we want to hear from you. If you could only choose one of these historic designs to rely on in a modern crisis, which one are you picking? Is it the raw power of the M2 or the precision of the 1911? Let us know down in the comments, and we will see you in the next video.